Hey y'all, it's your girl Barbie J here. Welcome to my channel, June BLC. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's comedy drama, Sisters, Season 8, Episode 13, Aftershock. And I'll be quite honest, I don't know what that title means. Did somebody mention the word aftershock in this episode? Because sometimes that's how it happens too. There's an aftershock. The only shock I know is Miss Lisa walking in and seeing Karen and Aaron about the kiss. And that wasn't an aftershock. That was a right at the same time shock. She walked in on a shock, I don't know. But y'all put it down in the comment section if y'all know what that's all about. But anyway, before we get started, if you are new here or if you are returning here and have not subscribed to this channel as of yet, please take a moment right now and hit that subscribe button. Then hit the notification bell and select all, and it'll let you know every time I upload any new content to this channel. Then I ask that you hit that like button. That's the thumbs up button. Write a comment and put in your 2 cents, and then share the video because sharing is caring. So now this episode starts off like the last one ended, with Karen, Aaron, Fatima, and Zach in the waiting room at the Vanguard Hospital. And Aaron just said some foolish ish to Zach, which made Zach step to him and them about to come to blows. And I truly feel Aaron created this whole situation to get under Zach's skin. You know how he is. So then Fatima finally steps in and checks both Zach and Aaron and tells them they owe Karen an apology. And then in unison, they both said, sorry, or something like that. And then the doctor comes out and he's telling them to act like adults and talk it out because Miss Mott doesn't need this stress while carrying these babies. She needs rest and relaxation. So he leaves out, and then they get into it again for some reason. And Karen's like, didn't you just hear what the doctor just said? And then she gets mad and get up out of the wheelchair about to walk, and she's still looking at Aaron and said, didn't you say you was going to give me a ride home? Give me a ride. So they all leave out. Then we go over to the hospital where we see both Andy and Hayden reading about Penelope on their smartphones, and they can't believe it. Then Hayden tells Andy, I guess you're off the hook, but I hope that you don't think because you're not a suspect in Gary's attempted murder case that will change anything at the firm, because from what I heard, the partners think that you're a liability. And I'm like, what? No, he didn't say that. And then he added that her career is just as soiled as her love life. And he walked away, leaving her standing there. And Andy said, a-hole. But then she picked up her phone and she calls Jordan and tells him she needs to talk to him. But I'm not sure if she actually spoke to him or if it was a voicemail message that she left. So now we see Sabrina at Danny's apartment, and she's looking after her and making sure she's taking care of it and going to bed and getting rest. And she putting candles around, trying to make the mood a little calmer for her and stuff. So she tells her she's going to spend the night and she's going to sleep on the couch. And, Danny's like, you don't have to do it. She said, yeah, but I'm going to do it anyway. So Danny goes to bed. Sabrina goes over to the couch like there's a room there and gets on the phone and starts talking to Rich. I'm like, she can hear you. I'm sorry. She doesn't have a wall there. She can hear you. So Rich is apologizing, and Sabrina's like, I'm still pissed. I don't care. Tony had no right to know about Danny's crisis. And he's like, I know, but if it was reversed and it was me, I would want to know. She said, I understand you loyal to your boys, but I'm loyal to my girls too. And you blindsided her and having him coming here. And then, that probably triggered her even more. You don't know what it could have done. And so he said, you're right, my bad. Next time I'll run it by you. I said, first of all, Sabrina shouldn't have brought Rich either. He didn't need to know about Danny's crisis. Y'all were together. You should have dropped them off. If y'all came in one car, take me to my car and I'll go and see my girl. He didn't need to know nothing else. That's that. So Sabrina needed to take ownership of the part that she played in that happening as well. So as they're finishing up talking on the phone, Rich lets Sabrina know that Penelope got arrested for Gary's stabbing. So now Aaron and Karen get back to her apartment and she lets him know that it felt good having him there to defend her. And I was like, but against whom or what? She didn't need any defending. Nobody was attacking her. So then Aaron asked, well, what happened? Because Karen had said it was partially her fault for going over to Zach's house, knowing that it annoys Fatima. And he said, did you do it on purpose? And she said, No, it just was getting on my last nerve. She said, but I know back in the day I really used to enjoy going on over there just to upset her. So he said, but what happened? And so she's saying how she's telling him all the things Zach was saying and how Zach told her not to breastfeed their child. And he's like, really? That's a lot of nerve. But then he asked, was there anything in particular that caused her to go into forced labor? And I said, I told y'all. I told y'all. She didn't want to say it, but I told y'all what it was. She heard that Fatima was pregnant and she went into false labor. And all they did was show her thinking about it and didn't allow her. I knew she wasn't going to fess up and tell Aaron the truth. Didn't we put it down in the comment section? I know everybody knew Karen was going to tell the truth about that. But I knew just what it was the cause of it. I knew it wasn't nothing else. Braxton Hicks. She went into what I'm calling Taylor Hicks. Zach and Fatima Taylor having a baby. That's what she went into, y'all. So Aaron is always letting Karen know that he'll protect her to the end of time. Why all of a sudden is she now feeling something? It felt good for you to defend me. He was always defending you and it disgusted you. It disgusted Karen. So what changed? Is it that whole thing that Sabrina said to her? Or is it the fact that she realized she does not have a chance with Zach? She might as well go over to Aaron, especially after what Sabrina said. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong, but y'all just put it down in the comment section. So when they was about to kiss, Miss Lisa comes in saying that she arrived just in time. And she was basically, not that she was rude, but she was rushing Aaron out of the apartment because she remembers that Karen wanted boundaries set with Aaron. So now Miss Lisa wants to know what changed. Karen doing all this smiling and googly eye stuff, and she's like she was in good hands with Aaron and all of this stuff. I said, what in the hootie and the blowfish is going on here? Who is this person we talking to now? So Karen wasn't really explaining what was going on, but then Miss Lisa asked this one question: are you turned on by Aaron, or do you think you're actually falling in love with him again? So Karen actually had to think about that. All that cheesing stopped. And I can't wait to hear what her response is going to be to her mother next week. So now back to Sabrina and Danny. They're sitting at the table talking, and I think Danny's drinking tea. And Sabrina tells Danny, well, she kept looking at her phone as Danny was talking about whatever. And she said, what's going on? Why you keep looking down at your phone? What's happening? And she said, well, okay, you're going to find out anyway, but Karen was in the hospital last night, had to go to the hospital last night. And she was like, what? And then she stops. She don't say it was a false alarm. She don't say it was Braxton Hicks. She don't say nothing. She just stops. Danny automatically jumps up and said, well, what are we sitting here for? We got to go. She ready to put on clothes and rush out there. And she go, oh, no, it was a false alarm. It was a false alarm. She said, well, you should have led with that. And I agree with her. I was like, what's the pause and all that? She said, but then there's more. She said, what is it? Laid on me. And then she tells her about Penelope being charged for stabbing Gary. And Danny did the head I can see that happening, especially after what he put her through. She could probably get away with this and get away with that, a murder of passion, passion of crime, or something like that. She was saying, I was like, true that, especially since he killed her baby. Anywho, next we had this scene with Maurice that they could have left out of the show. It was unnecessary. It was Maurice and Pam. And he comes to the salon banging on the door for her to let him in so that he could get several more jars of her Roots to Riches edge control. And I'm like, okay, this is edge control. And she's like thinking he's giving it to his aunties or this person or who, what is he doing with it? And then he explains in a dramatic way that he and Grayson was in a car or something, and Sabrina left a jar of it in there, and they were about to get busy, and they didn't have any lubricant, and they used that Roots to Riches, and it was phenomenal. It was amazing. It was better than petroleum jelly. And Pam was like, what? So it looked like she was thinking she could consider selling it for something else. But that don't make no sense because edge control usually has to make stuff stiff. Lay your edges down so to stay down. It's sticky, it's gluey. I can't see that would be a lubricant, but I could be wrong. Y'all put it down in the comment section for me. Next, we have the scene with Andy showing up at Robin's apartment or hotel room or something like that, asking him to represent Penelope Williams. And he told her that may not be the best idea because I'm representing you. And Andy says, "Did you forget that I fired you?" And Robin replies, "You didn't mean it. You were just upset because I convinced the partners to send you on a sabbatical." And Andy says that she wants her job back that she was promised to run her company. And Robin told her, "First of all, it's my company. We just needed you to take a beat," he said, until this whole stabbing situation blows over. And honestly, I feel that Andy is being totally unreasonable. I mean, it makes sense to me. Your involvement in this reflects on a company. How could you be running a company and be a suspect in an attempted murder? I don't know why she's not thinking rationally, but I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Y'all let me know. So then Robin suggested that she represent Penelope, but she said, I only do divorces and family law or something like that. She said, "That's my specialty." And he said, "I have several specialties like criminal law and stuff." She said, "Oh," she makes this comment about his ego needing to be stroked. And he responded, "Not just my ego." I said, "No, he didn't." Well, among other things, I said, "Was he talking about a body part of his that needs to be stroked?" I was like, "You better go ahead, Robin, because that was a good time to say that. He been in there drinking too? Heck yeah." So then Robin comes from around the table and stands behind her and asks her if he do this favor for her, what will she do for him? And she said, "Not a damn thing." And she walked out, said, "Let me know how it goes with Penelope." But Andy knows she got some memories of that dang-a-lang-a-lang flowing in her mind. Y'all know she do. Come on now. So now we have this scene with Jordan showing up at the bar to meet with Rich and Tony, and he gets a text from Andy saying that Robin Autry is going to talk with Penelope, and they ask who is he, and Jordan says Andy's boss and her ex-boyfriend. They're like, "What?" So they think it's a conflict of interest and that he shouldn't be trusted until Tony Googles Robin and he reads his credentials, which are amazing. He's the top criminal law attorney in the state and blah, 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 blah. So Jordan's like, maybe he is the best person to help get my sister out, of jail. And Tony said, "I don't think he would be doing something like that, to get back at Andy or anything like that. This dude looked like he takes his career seriously." And he does. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here's Jordan talking about, "I should have never got involved with Andy. This is all her fault." And I'm sitting there going, what? That makes no sense. How is her fault? You know what I mean? I didn't get that at all. And you know what? I missed something to tell y'all. When Andy was in the apartment with Robin, he had to drop some truths on Andy that I don't think she even liked at all. And he was saying how hard it was for him to have to convince the woman that he loved to take a bit of responsibility for the mess she made of her own damn life. I said, and she said, "F you, Robin." She got mad. I was like, he's speaking the truth. And he said, "Oh, am I making it too real for you?" He said, "Well, let's get real." He said, "You probably would have been running that doggone firm years ago if you had not let Gary Borders pull you down into the gutter with him." I said, "Ooh." He said, "I'm sorry, but it's the truth." And she did not like it. She got up and walked out. That's when she walked out of his apartment. She was pissed. So now we have Agent Josh Watts. He goes to the hospital to ask Gary some questions, and he's getting pushback from Hudson. He doesn't want to let him in the room. He's saying how Gary needs rest or something like that. He's saying, and Agent Watt is like, "Is there something you don't want Gary to tell me now that he's awake? What's going on?" He said, "Of course not." He said, "When you was getting interrogated, you were so involved and wanted us to hurry up and find out who did this to him. And now it seems like you don't want us to get and ask him any questions." And he's like, "Oh, no, that's not true." He said, so he goes to go in there. He said, "Don't you go in there." And Agent Watt went in there anyway. And so Hudson went behind him. And then Hudson was telling him he had to leave and that he was going to get security. He said, "Yeah, tell him Special Agent Watts said hello." Because, Hudson kept yelling out power of attorney and all that stuff. And so Agent Watt told Gary that they were old friends. And he said, "Oh, friends like I am with Hudson?" He said, "We're even better friends." Hudson's like, he's being sarcastic. And that's when he was talking about he going to get the security. And he said, yeah, go ahead and get him. So anyway, Agent Watts asked Gary, did he know who stabbed him? And he said no at first. And he said, I know you're having problems with your memory and all. Would you like to try and answer the question and let me help you or something like that? And Gary said, okay. So Agent Watt told him to close his eyes. And he said, now focus on that day, your wedding day. It's your wedding night and you finally get to marry the woman of your dreams, Andy Barnes. And you're in your room alone and about to head to the altar. And then what happens? What do you see? And then Gary says, I turn around and I see her. It was a woman. So that's what we got. It's a woman, y'all. And my top choice right now is Jasmine. And then the episode ends with Andy showing up to Zach and Fatima's house, and they're all saying that they think Penelope is innocent. So Andy tells them that's why she sent Robin to represent Penelope. And they both look at each other, Zach and Fatima. And she said, what? What did I say? So they get up to show her their suspect board. And Andy is like, what? Because she's like, you even got me there? They said, yeah, we had to cover all our bases. We had to put everybody there. So then she says, what's this little knifey thing? And the knifey thing was on top of Robin's picture. And Zach said, that's because he's suspect number one. They're like, you think Robin did it? And Fatima said, I think that by him representing Penelope, you may have just sealed her fate. And Andy was in shock. She just can't even believe it. And that's how it went off. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was okay. I don't even know if that makes sense. So don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Put your thoughts and comments down in the comment section. If I forgot anything, please let me know. It's your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.